Hello and good evening. So, if you could not clear your tax exam in June 2023, you will be sitting for the exam in September. At this point of time, you will actually be stuck with where to start with, how to do revision because you have 40 days now and the tax syllabus is so vast, where to do and how to complete it. There would be a number of questions in your mind. Most of the questions and your anxiety to some extent will be in this video. So let's just first see how to cater and hit this syllabus. The first advice which I will say is now you need to directly make groups and start reading the provisions. That means at this point of time, you should not start reading study text again because obviously when you would have studied for June, some notes would have been prepared. You need to directly hit the notes. So let's make some group of chapters and then address them and allocate your 40 days to the plan. Now, the basic income tax computation will be the first thing. Try to cater to these all together in one part. So let me name them as module 1. So this is the first part of individuals where we will hit chapter number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have to revise them as module 1. Coming to the next segregation of syllabus. Now let's talk about businesses, their capital gains, then basis of assessment, then partnerships, losses, and these. So this is a long chunk. Module 2 is a long one, but we can still get relief in terms of income from self-employment doesn't have too many provisions to study. So this is where we will get some help. Then comes the third module, corporation tax. Okay, so with corporation tax, let's not merge chargeable gain of companies here. Let me just mark it as fill here. So this is corporation tax. Let it be module. This is your corp tax. Okay. Then comes your CGT. It's a very important portion not to be missed or not to be goofed up with anything. So CGT with this. So this is CGT. This should be your module 4, right? And then comes inheritance tax and VAT. This is your module 5. Let VAT be your module 6. So we have 6 modules here now. Let's just make an Excel sheet also for them. Six modules, individuals, 10 individuals. Then I have pop tax as module 3. Then I have CG. Then comes inheritance tax and then comes VAT. So now let's just start giving them and allocating some number of days to complete. So how many number of days should these initial chapters take? Now remember, you are not doing them from beginning. You are going to revise them, you are going to revisit them. So seeing the content of chapter number 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, ideally you should not take more than 5 days to complete them. And these 5 days will include exam kit questions also. All obviously with these 4 or 5 chapters you won't be able to do section C questions, so you are going to hit only section A and B questions. The remaining part, again, you will take 5 days to complete this. Corporation tax should not take more than 3 days for you, max to max 4 days. CGT, max to max 4 days. IHT, allocate 3 days to it. VAT, allocate 3 days to it. Now let's just count how many days have been there. Okay, so I punched in days. This is 5, 15, 19, 19 and 6 becomes 25. Wow. Just punch in only the number 5. So how many days are gone? So these are 25 days. So we again have some margin to increase some days. So maybe you can take 7 days here, you can take 7 days here, corporation tax is fine, CGT is, you can take 6 days here, IHT you can take 4 days, and this should be fine. And this is total 31 days, till 31 days of dedicated study. Then again you have 10, 12 days, 10, 12 days. Now, what will you do in these 10, 12 days? Have to revision. How this revision has to do or has to happen? By randomly choosing questions. So that if one question you are choosing from individuals, the other one comes from CGT. Then suddenly third question comes from VAT. Then suddenly it comes from tax assessment or the date of assessment or discovery assessment, anything. So keep it a mix of questions while you are revising. For revision, daily you have to ensure that you are doing at least 20 section A questions of tax. You are doing at least 3 section B questions and 2 section C questions. This is the bare minimum pattern which you should use for revision for last 10-12 days. And again, I'll again mention and highlight mocks are very important to teach time management. So just try to follow this suggestive timetable or schedule to cater to your tax exam if you are resitting in September. Smaller changes here and there can be obviously made, but remember, some students do this mistake that they do not study tax during the weekdays. That's a very big problematic area. If you do not study for 5 days and suddenly come up reaching on weekends, obviously the questions are washed off in 5 days. It's better to hit tax regularly. Even if you cannot devote much time, try to give at least 2 hours daily. That is must for addressing such a huge syllabus. Try this. If there is anything I can help on, please feel free to write that in the comment section. Thank you so much. Keep on studying, keep on growing.